In the Hats podcast with your hosts with the most, Tony and Lavelle. Every morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. We also have Queen Watkins with Clock Dead. Tune in with us and have a great time. Let's talk about it right here. Too Many Hats podcast. Top of the morning to you, my good people. Happy Monday. It is a beautiful day in the neighborhood, man. It's your host with the most, Tony Mays, Lavelle Salter. What it do, my guy?
You got it?
No, I ain't got it, man. But if I had
You over,
it,
you
I
over there?
ain't got it. But if I had it,
Did you use all the tissue up yesterday?
man, all of it, every last bit of it. And I
Oh
tell
wow.
you, boy. All I can
Yeah,
say is
man.
God is good, bro. God is good.
I'm starting out with the shout out first today. I'm starting out first. You come back. I want to give a shout out to Monica Mays for making sure she called me because they celebrated my brother from another mother on yesterday. I don't think did you even have a clue?
Didn't. I didn't
It didn't throw you off on that. It
until
didn't
I
throw you off
started
when I
seeing
came to
people.
church.
I started seeing people. Then when you walked in, I said, something up. I said, something up, man. They got some stuff. I said, it's too many folk here like that don't normally come.
Yeah. Yeah, Doc.
That's
Man, and service was so high, bro. God, Lee,
crazy.
bro, I would have gave the dismissal, Doc. But man, shout out to Pastor Clog, man, and Lake Grove Missionary Baptist Church, man, and everybody over there. Man, I was there 2 days in a row, man. So hey, big shout out to you being the first inaugural recipient of the Brian E. Botley Senior Excellent Member Award, man. Congratulations on it. I think it's well deserved. You put a lot of work in, and I'm proud of you, bro. You deserve all your flowers while you can smell
Oh shoot. I appreciate it, man.
them.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, man. You know, it was a humbling experience, man. I appreciate Pastor Clark and the Lake Grove family for even, thinking about me in such a way. So again, thank them for just, kudos, man. As Bala would say, man, I was peacock proud and hyena happy.
Yeah, Doc.
Peacock proud and hyena happy, man. Good morning.
Giraffe glad.
Good morning, Miss Loretta. Good morning, Zoe. Good morning, Clarence.
Elephant excited.
Elephant excited. Thank you, Miss Loretta. She said, congratulations on your recognition. I believe my brother would have been pleased. Yeah,
Yep,
so much. I appreciate that. I
man.
really do. I
I
want
just
to give a shout out.
I just can't pull down in that hole, man, and not think about dude, bro. It's like, man, bro.
Man,
Anyway,
as soon as they started talking about it, bro, I just like dropped my head because it's just
yeah,
all the stuff that they said, man, was just stuff that I could remember so vividly. You
yeah,
know, going from marrying us to baptizing to all, I mean, just all of the stuff that he did and the stuff that he was responsible for, man. Like, I really can't take no credit for those TVs because that was the last thing he told me before he passed that he wanted to
right.
put some.
Y'all was down at the church. I talked to you.
We was down at the church and he was
Yeah,
telling me, he said, man, I want to get some TV put up it right here. And I said, man, we could do it. And that was my last conversation with him. So yes,
yeah.
thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. But I want to give a shout out
Well,
too,
it's
man.
okay happen. It's
Uh,
okay happen, boy. That one was wow. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
but I want to give a shout out to those who showed up Saturday, man, for the Prepared Life seminar. We had a good time, man. They showed up, man. We had a really good time, man, of just sharing information. And everybody was there was talking about how great the information was, and it was a lot of stuff that even they hadn't thought about themselves, and so it was really helpful information for them. So shout out to all those. And this is kind of like some of the stuff that I share from my kids, um, to kind of showcase some of the stuff that I have. I only brought two of my kids out of six. I only brought two. So but shout out to them for showing up, man, and saying, "Hey, give us this information. We need to hear this information." So I appreciate it. Also, I
And
want to shout
bro,
out to
as I was sitting there Saturday, bro, I really believe that that's the thing that, at some point, I don't know if there needs something to be actually professionally recorded to where it's like a actual video of what you presented, and or going around to different churches and doing that seminar, because it's vital, bro. You did an excellent job.
well, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. You ain't do so bad yourself. I want to shout out these triplets, man. Triples Kendall, Kobe, and Sydney Belcher from Ola High School in McDonough, Georgia. Graduated summa cum laude.
Wow.
Each with a perfect, listen now, each with a perfect 4.0 GPA.
Mm.
Shout out to them triplets, man.
Yes, sir.
Doing an excellent job, man. Also, I want to shout out this, man. See, when we talk about ladies and ladies having babies, man, if you've never witnessed a woman having a baby, man, it's something to behold. You'll have a whole new profound respect for women having children, man, if you see it and witness it. But man, shout out to this lady, man. She gave birth to 9 babies, bro. 9 in one pregnancy. She all healthy. 5 girls, 4 boys. She set the Guinness World Record for 9
Gee whiz.
babies.
What in the world?
My God.
She pregnant for real.
Yeah, she was big pregnant. Not little, big pregnant.
But to
But
take
shout
care of
out
all
to
them
her.
babies at one time, gee,
That's
oh
big.
Lord, mercy.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think sometimes when that happen, women be having maybe pregnancy issues, and they start taking these little I don't know what they call them to kind of help them, and then they end up having multiple children. Monica said, "Yeah, we still have 2 Men in Hat merchandise available. We was able to bring it out Saturday, and thanks to all those who supported us Saturday with buying some merch, because again, we take the proceeds from the merch and we turn around and use it back into the community some kind of way. So thank you guys again for those who purchased some merch. All right. Miss Gwen mentioned last week. She asked a question during one of our shows, and this is the basis for our topic today. And Miss Gwen asked the question, if people could use 3 words to describe you, what do you think they would say? And so that's we this is our topic today. 3 words people would use to describe you. And when you think about how people would describe you, Monica actually sent it to our daughter last night and said, "What are 3 words you would use to describe me?" And she sent them back. And one of the words was nurturing. And I said, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely nurturing. So much that sometimes she thinks she my mama. Nurturing. Don't do too much, Tony. I'm telling myself, don't do too much.
You took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah, don't do too much. But 3 words people would use to describe you. Um, I think this is important, you know, because whether we believe it or not, or know it or not, um, people care about what other people think about or how people see them.
Mm-hmm.
It said what our words reveal about how we see others and others see us. And you can say what you want to, but people care how people see them.
Mm-hmm.
We may not act like it all the time, or we may not just show it or say it, but we do care about how people actually view us or see us.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so let's kind of get on into, we often summarize people with just a few words: kind, determined, thoughtful. But behind each word lies a deeper story about how we experience others and what we value in them. When when Monica asked Tasia, what was those, how would she describe her with 3 words? And one of the first words she said was nurturing. I forgot the other two. Monica, you can put up the other two, but nurturing, dependable, and resilient. And I definitely agree with all 3 of those. She's very dependable, resilient. I can't tell you how resilient she is. As a matter of fact, that's my that's my grandson's middle name, Resilience. So, um, and nurturing. Monica has this nurturing thing about her, especially as it relates to kids and other people's kids and just people in general, where she just tries to nurture, you know. And so I think it's a just part of who she is as a person, and that's how she's viewed. I know she's viewed that way by her children, and others may view her that way, or they may view her some other way. But behind each word truly lies a deeper story about how people experience others, or what they value in them, see in them, or how they feel about them. And I think that's important that we understand it. And I think that's why it's so important that when I say, oh, we care about how people see us or what people think about us. Even with receiving the award on yesterday, again, I'm grateful and humble. I never really um I never really thought about um really what I do on a daily basis. Like the stuff that I did at the church, it wasn't for recognition. It was, hey, my pastor talked about it. I saw a need for other stuff, and I just jumped on out there. And then
Mm-hmm.
actually, again, it still wasn't me, because there were other members came to me and said, "Hey, can we get this? Can we do that?" I don't know why they came to me, but I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." I said, we don't have to go to the church for everything. I'm pretty sure the church ain't gonna mind some upgrades.
Right.
And then people started saying, "Hey, well, I sponsor a TV, I sponsor this, I sponsor that," and it just came together that way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so receiving that accolade, I know it wasn't just for that. It was, but it still was something that made me proud, um, to represent, um, or be the person I am, and try to represent who the person I am to the fullest, in other people's eyes, if that makes sense. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So if people looked at you and they can use 3 words, what do you think, Lavelle, people would say about you in 3 words? And
Uh-oh.
Clarence, I asked Clarence this question last night, and Clarence said, "Well, it really just depends on who I'm talking to, who I'm dealing with,
Mm-hmm.
because I may be different things to different people."
True.
And I said, "Absolutely."
Mm-hmm.
Try to put that in a better, good way, but yeah, he's different things to different people, and so which that makes sense. So, but is there something that you think people could say about you that would be a kind of a universal thing, that they would look at you and say, "Hey, Lavelle is this dude, he that."
Well, number one, funny. Number one. Uh, number
I
two,
wouldn't use the word fun. I would more like crazy.
well, you can marinate it together. It's a crazy, funny, crazy. I take that. Uh, 2 would be caring and dependable.
Mhm.
You know?
Hey, Rodney.
So
Yeah, I can see all three of those. You know,
mhm.
I probably crazy would definitely be in there, man. That man crazy. Crazy would definitely be in there. Caring would be in there. And uh, just right off the top, you know, I would probably say very dependable.
Mhm.
Very dependable. You know, when you're gonna be where you say you're gonna be. If you ain't gonna be that, you'll tell you ain't gonna be there.
Mhm.
I think, you know, maybe universally, you know, people say I'm a bit crazy too. So, but I think a word that they would use too is very passionate about whatever I do.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I've even heard you refer or use that word to me. But I'm very passionate about what I do,
Mhm.
and I don't waver from what I do. Um,
Mhm.
I would say I'm very just a very loving person. 'Cause I love and care for, and um, I feel like, you know, people say he a person that get along with everybody. He talk to everybody. Cause I mean, yesterday I always say I never meet a stranger because I talk
Mhm.
to everybody. And even
Yeah.
on yesterday, we went to breakfast after we left church at Bryant's, and we had to literally stand out in the cold waiting to get in there. And so I just started talking to the guy behind me, this white guy behind
Mhm.
me, and we were talking about it when we was young and the area and how the area that it came. Just talking. Mugga, I see Mugga look at me like, look, this boy out here just talking to somebody. I don't meet a stranger.
Mhm.
Good morning, Phyllis. Mugga said Tony, determined, driven, trustworthy, loyal, strong, reliable, dependable, passionate, intelligent, accomplished, generous, handsome, sexy, mind. She's crazy.
Oh.
Oh, she is funny, bro. But I agree. I agree. You do. And Levin said you do good. You do good. You do good. So we often summarize people with just a few words, whether that word is kind or being determined, thoughtful. But this is the thing, behind each word lies a deeper story about how we see others, experience others, or what we truly value in them. So much like Pastor Bartlett never met a stranger. Right, man. He was definitely that. He talked to anybody too. And
Yeah.
I don't know if that's why we got along so well, but Bartlett had that little crazy side into. I think the preacher yesterday referred to him as the class clown.
Yeah.
And he just was a vibrant person, a person that enjoyed life. And he loved to have fun. He would tell you, I'm Brian. I ain't
Mhm.
Pastor Bartlett, I'm Brian. And so boy, oh my God, we experienced some good times with
What's
each
so
other.
crazy? I was this been about, was it last year? It was last year. I was out somewhere. I don't remember where I was, and somebody said, "You look like somebody I know." And I was like, "Who? Do you know? Did you know Pastor Brian Bartlett?" I said, "Did I know Pastor Brian Bartlett?" Yeah, of course. I said,
Yeah,
"Anybody was I look like him. I don't see it, but hey."
yeah.
I said,
He's
"Probably
a
because we dressing
giant,
like."
man. He was a giant. Yeah.
Yeah.
The meaning behind the words. When people describe someone, they don't just list traits. They express moments of connection, shared experiences, and emotions that define how they've come to know that person. So it's not just about them just using a list of traits or um, um, you know, whatever to describe somebody, but it's more they're using an expression of connection, how they've connected with that person, the experiences that they've had with that person, and then even the emotions that can define how they come to know a person. So it's deeper than just rattling off a bunch of words. You
Right.
know, I can rattle off all kinds of words, you know, but does that really describe the person, or connect with that person, or share in the experiences that you have with the person, or emotionally connect with that person? Like what what you say truly has words, or meaning behind the words, you know. um I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say that. But yeah, it's meaning behind words. Uh, that when you say stuff about people, or trying to describe someone, those words truly should mean something to you and to them. How it feels to be described. Being described by others can be humbling. It allows us to see ourselves through a new lens. And see, I really never thought about it this way,
Mm-hmm.
but that's definitely very, very true.
Right.
You're now, when somebody describes you, you're now trying to view yourself through the lens of how they see you. So you're actually seeing yourself through a totally different lens. Zoe said, I once was told that I was loyal by a person that I think highly of, and that meant a lot to me. Yeah, because now, you know, you saw yourself as a certain way, but then now that person, through your
Affirm.
connection, you know, says, bro, you a real loyal person, man, and I like that about you. So now you were able to see yourself through their lens, how they saw you. And I never really, like, again, just never really kind of looked at it like that.
Mm-hmm.
To understand how our actions, the energy and the presence impact the people around us. Um, what's that? If how does the song go? If I can uh, help somebody along the way, if I can, then my living would not be in
Not
vain.
in vain. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like I don't do stuff, or I don't think Lavelle does stuff for notoriety, or so somebody can say, "Oh, Lavelle did this, or Tony did this, Monica did this, or Zoe did this." I think when you do stuff, you ought to do it genuinely because you care.
Mm-hmm.
And if doing it because you care leads to some type of accolade, then I mean that's cool. But if it don't, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, man,
Hmm.
every time I just think about yesterday, bro. It's just it's overwhelming because I didn't really see myself worthy of that award or accolade.
I'm gonna have to keep on debunking it, Doc. I I
What
I can
I'm
I
talking about
I can
personally, what
I can
me. I
I'm
did.
saying, and I'm gonna keep on pushing back. You emphatically deserved it, bro. Because I mean, just think, man. You know, I think about the times uh that we did the SOS ministries back in the day, and Pastor Bottle allowed us to use the church, and how we poured into those young men. You know what I'm saying? All of those young men, for the most part, are now, either prominent pastors doing well, and that's just one particular thing. The thing that you was doing when I first met you with Mario and all them. Come on, bro.
Who I am.
Come on, man. You deserve all that, bro.
But again, you don't see, sometimes you don't see that stuff because you're just doing it because you, for your love of people and the love, you don't really see it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's why sometimes, and I do sometimes when I'm trying to help people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like, you know, you try to put stuff out there, you're trying to help people, and then there's always somebody that jumps out there and be like, it's always whatever they're saying is almost in a negative light, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you if you don't want to help or you don't want to do it, don't do it. You shouldn't have nothing to really say about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like yesterday, when I mentioned about the TSA agent, and I came back and I said, I understand that some people would never give, because that's just who they are. They're just not people who give, and that's okay. Then I said some people won't give unless they understand or know the backstory.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. You just got to know why you giving for that's okay if that's you.
But, you know,
Some
I'm gonna tell
people
you how the spirit is, Doc, because I was gonna say that I think I did say it, but I was just saying we need to try to do something for somebody who's going through this situation.
mhm.
I didn't think that you were gonna turn around and do it the next day.
Well,
And
and I
so
never heard it. I just woke up and saw the post. The person didn't ask for nothing, asked for prayer, and I was like, "Hey, let's do it.
it's
If we could do it, do it."
yeah.
And it's not for like I understand that there are people out there who would love to give, just don't have it. That's fine. If you don't
Mm-hmm.
have it to give, that's fine. Can't nobody make you give something you don't have, even if you want to give. God knows your heart.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the people that that's selfless, man. That I don't care what they going through, what they dealing with. They always see how what they do can maybe benefit or help others. And those are the people, man, that I was appealing to, the selfless people who said, I don't care what I'm dealing with. I see a person in need and I'm gonna help.
Yeah. Well, for
And
me,
those are the people
I
I
just
was
love to
appealing to.
give, and I just thank God. I'm almost gonna get happy. I just thank God that I'm in the place. Because one time I
Yeah,
was one of those ones where I wanted to give and couldn't give like that. I'm
yeah,
just thankful that I'm in a place to where I can go in my account
right.
and I ain't got to think about how much I'm gonna give. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So, bro, don't start.
yeah. I mean, if you can't give, you can't. You know, God knows your heart, knows what's in your heart.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like just don't try to turn what I'm saying around, or make like, anyway. But being described by others can be humbling. It
Mm-hmm.
allows us to see ourselves through a new lens to understand how our actions, energy, and presence impact the people around us. Uh, Monk say it's like at the funeral, and people have so many nice things to say, but do people really express accolades to people before the funeral?
Yes,
It's,
sir.
it's yeah. Do you give people the flowers while they live, or you wait till
Right.
they dead?
I want you to get your roses while you can smell them, Doc.
Yeah, I mean because like, so I'm gonna be perfectly honest with y'all. I don't understand flowers at a funeral. I don't. I don't understand them.
Indeed. At this point, it's just decoration.
Just me personally. I'm not knocking nobody to do it. I just don't understand. I mean, I can't smell them flowers. Maybe just for the ambiance to make it look pretty around the casket, I guess. But if I'm gone, I don't need you to deck me out and have me looking pretty then. If you couldn't have me looking pretty when I was I don't need it then. If you
Mm-hmm.
didn't have me looking good when I was alive, I don't need you trying to have me looking good when I'm gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go back to what you said. Well, you said you don't feel like you deserve it. I'm gonna tell you how much you deserve it, bro. I didn't get home to about 3:30 Saturday morning. I probably had 2 hours of sleep, if that. But I made sure that I got my tail up because you would have did the same thing for me, regardless how much sleep you had. So that's how much it meant to me, bro, to make sure that I was there because you deserve it. I'm through with that. I ain't saying it no more.
I appreciate that. You have one of the biggest hearts I know. It gets discouraging, but don't ever get weary in well doing. You will reap if you faint not. I don't really get discouraged at all because I feel like, you know, not that I can save the world, but sometimes I feel like, man, that if enough of us did our part, we could.
Yeah,
You know,
we can't really worry about that though, bro. At the
yeah,
end of the
yeah.
day, as long as you're doing what
That's why
God
I
has
just do my part.
impressed upon your heart and your spirit, and you find yourself doing it, you can't worry about nobody else.
Yeah, that's why I do my part. So
Hmm.
you have to understand how actions, energy, and presence impact the people around you. So whatever you do, whatever you say, however you feel around people, it's probably how they would describe you or how they think about you or feel about you.
Hmm.
So we don't never think about that. That's why I think when Miss Gwen actually proposed that question, it really made me think about like, oh, like how do people really see you? You
Hmm.
know, um, and it made me think about the fact that I don't care. People do care how you feel and how you see them, what you think about them.
Hmm.
Whether whether you think you the best thing moving since sliced bread, somebody else may think you the biggest a-hole on this side of the planet.
Yeah. Well, I believe that what happens is when you have a lot of people who um, kind of like cater, not necessarily cater, I don't want to use that word, but kind of you draw people to you just because of your
Mhm.
spirit and folks like to be around you. You have certain individuals who just they are jealous because you have that spirit. It ain't nothing that you try to do or make folks draw to you, but that's just who I am and who God has made me to be. So you can't you being jealous of it. Just that's your problem.
Yeah, yeah, I don't really understand that. Like, you how do you not how do you be jealous because somebody's drawn to me?
Hmm.
Like, or drawn to whoever? Like, how are you jealous by that?
Because 9 times out of 10 they don't possess that same spirit, and it ain't nothing really to possess per se. It's just something that you know that happens. But at the same time, you being jealous to me ain't gonna help the situation.
I think it's more about connecting spirits. You know, when spirits start to connect and align with each other, what they say, familiar spirits recognize each other. You
Hmm.
know, and when you got hell in you, it just ain't gonna let you connect with somebody who's free, from hellish stuff,
Right.
or don't really embrace hellish stuff. It's gonna be
Right.
hard for you to connect, or you may see error in everything they do
Hmm.
because, you know. Anyway, Miss Gwen said it's important to show up for others even when it costs us something. Sometimes love without actions is just words.
What you said? An empty wagon making a whole lot of noise.
Well, I had said yesterday, it's a hit dog that holler.
Hmm.
It's a hit dog that holler. In other words, every post, every post that somebody put out there don't require a response. Not you know, it requires it's just an action. It's a call to action.
Hmm.
It don't require a response.
Hmm.
Not in words. If you're gonna respond with action. You know,
Yeah.
think for a moment. If people could use only 3 words to describe you, what might they be?
Hmm.
What stories or moments have inspired those words? And look at this right here though. How like the three words I probably would have used to describe Lavelle 30 years ago is different than the 3 words I would use to describe him today.
Hmm.
Why? Because over a period of time, Lavelle has developed, grown, changed. and my thoughts and my interactions, my connection with him has changed.
Right. So it can go back to what Clarence said. It depends on how their connection and their chemistry is at that particular time with that particular person.
Right.
So somebody may describe you one way, somebody might describe you another. So
Another way.
it's
Right.
interesting. Yeah.
It depends on what your interaction is with them. That's why I
Mhm.
said people may not necessarily see you the same way that others see you because of your interaction with them. Because some
Mhm.
people tend to let their hair down, and when they with people they're familiar with, but then when they're around some people, they put on a facade.
What
Billy
you mean?
says, so my response was seen as being negative. No, I did not say that. I didn't even say anything about your response.
What response did she give? She didn't get no response.
I think she's talking about on my post.
Oh.
For me, I think it would be stand up, real compassionate. For me, I think it would be stand up, real compassionate. Okay. Ms. Gwen said, if we move in our created purpose, it is natural to do for others. And that doesn't always mean financially. We might not have money to give, but we are resourceful and can connect others to a blessing. Absolutely.
Mhm.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't see your response as being negative. I saw your response as saying, "Hey, no." What I was saying was every post that a person make doesn't necessarily require a response. It requires a call to action, and that's what I was putting out there. Call to action.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So if people could really think for a moment, and you could use only 3 words to describe yourself, or people could describe you, what might they be? And again, I think it really just depends on where you are, who you're dealing with. Now, if you treat everybody the same, you the same, you never waver, you never change, you always the same with everybody, then I think there would be a genuine um I think it would be a genuine, or at least a similar response from people that you interact with,
Mhm.
if they truly value what you do, or at least when you're around them, value your interactions and the connection that y'all have. I think there will be some similar responses to how they would describe you if you are the same way with everybody.
Mhm.
And so there are some people who like that, where they don't. I don't care what you do, they don't change. You know what I'm saying? Is they the same person? I don't care who they talking to. They can be talking to the president of the United States. That's why when I see people give interviews on TV, and some people, oh, they just go find the country is bumpkin and all, and like I don't see it that way. I see them is that person being a genuine, they being the same person they was on the news. So they didn't change once they got in front of the news reporter and get all, what I think is that people should just mind their own business, and people should just stay to themselves. And no, they on there, man, them folk down there, man, we've been living in this neighborhood for 45 years, and we just don't like this kind of behavior. And they go get the most ignorant black. No, that's real. What I'm gonna get on the camera and change who or what I am on camera? It's they the same people, country, whatever you want to call them, they the same person. Marcus said, Miss Gwen said, I didn't. Okay, she said I didn't receive your comment as negative either. That's it right there, Miss Gwen. I may not have it, but I have the resources to get it. And when I say, you know, I was appealing to calling to the selfless people because I already understand. So I don't want the people who not gonna give anyway, because they ain't gonna give anyway. I understand that they're gonna be some people that won't give because they truly need to know everything about the situation before they give. And then there are
Mhm.
some people who just said, I just simply don't have it to give. If I had it, I would give. Cool. But then there are people who say, man, I got it. I'm gonna be a blessing. I'm gonna give it and move on. And so my call to action was for those people that didn't mind. And I even said, even if you don't have $100, then you want to give something, because we make that mistake in church. Some pastors get up there and say, I need the $100 line. I need the $50 line. And then you get people that's embarrassed that won't get up now because they're thinking, well, I don't have the $100 or the $50. All I got is my little $5, my $3, and my $1. You know, I ain't gonna get up because I don't want them to see, because I didn't get up with the $100 people or the $50 people. Now, Phyllis said, being the matriarch of my immediate family, I'm the motivator, the caring one, dependable one, who always there, and the most giving heart, and the most of all of the worry war. Yeah, sometimes that falls on us, Phyllis, as some of the older people, because if you think about it, what if we didn't have anybody like that in the family, Phyllis? What if we don't have nobody like that? Who's gonna teach the young people how to be caring and motivated and dependable, giving? You know what I'm saying? They got to have some examples. If I wouldn't have saw my grandma Velma, my granddaddy, if I wouldn't saw certain people in my life doing and giving and being, then maybe I wouldn't have turned out to who I am.
Yeah, that's true.
We taught our kids that at a young age, very young age, about giving and doing for others. Now they beating us doing it. So that little Tony is different. If little Tony, I'm telling you right now, if that boy was a millionaire, he'd give it all away. He probably, like me, we'll probably give it all away, because that's just, he always trying to figure out what he could do for the community, how he could help somebody, even when I know he ain't got it, Lavelle. So I'm glad we were able to share that with our children, so they could be those type of individuals. But it has simply, Phyllis, it has to be in your heart. If it ain't in your heart, ain't in your heart, you ain't gonna do it no way. We know a lot of people, we can't help everybody, and we can't do it by ourselves. But if we pool our resources together, we can do more. Every little bit helps, and that's kind of where what I was saying earlier, Lavelle. Like, I know I can't help everybody I want to help, but man, I try to do my part.
Right.
Best of my ability, I try to do my part. Phyllis, I can't even imagine what are you saying, direct? Because it is definitely passed down.
I get what she's saying. Yeah, she just used the wrong choice of word.
Huh?
She just used the change. It kind of the sentence kind of ran together.
Okay, maybe she'll clean it up. It's difficult, man. Like, when I see young people now, it's scary to me, Lavelle. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's really scary when I see young people now, and I be like, who's gonna carry on the banner? Who gonna hold up the banner? Who gonna keep it going? Who gonna, Cause what I see now is a whole bunch of selfish, not selfless, but selfish young folk who don't care nothing about nobody. If they can't get it, have it for that's when you got a lot of these young kids out here robbing, because they don't want to go work. They're gonna take what you have. And it's difficult to just sit back and just watch it and see that, they're just, what are their legacies gonna look like? I mean, we probably won't be around to see it, but it's scary to look and see that. Man, because if I had to actually get out there now and just meet some young folk now, and I'm not saying all young folk bad, because that's why I be highlighting these young folk doing good with these some cum laudes and valedictorians and salutatorians. That's why I highlight them, because you know, I do understand that there is a crowd of them that's not going in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's what we see on social media a lot. The crowd is not going in the right direction. We see the fights. We see the on Beale Street fights. They just out there hanging out and there's a breakout in a fight. Or we see, you know, just all that craziness. Ms. Gwen said, Tony, it's so true. I grew up with my mother always serving, giving to others. Now I see my daughter doing the same. Absolutely. These new age young folks care nothing about nothing. It's super sad. It is. It's really sad to see. And we don't bring them to church. If you look at most churches now, it ain't a whole lot of young folk in the church. It's
It's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah, it's just not. It's not a long, but that's sad because when who's gonna carry on that, man? Who's gonna carry that word, man? Continue to carry that word on.
Mm-hmm.
Phyllis said, I want to spotlight my son for his football team going undefeated for the Wyoming Suns. Yeah, I saw them on yep, I should have highlighted. I'm glad you highlighted it. They headed to the Super Bowl on Saturday. He has no children, but he spent his time and money to help these children. I'm super proud of him. Yeah, I saw them do that. That's awesome.
Yeah, congratulations.
Football team, because I think they got like four different teams, and I think your son's team was the only one that advanced to the finals to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I think the rest of them got knocked out.
Hey Tony, I gotta jump off. I gotta head down to the church. We got a meeting. We gotta meet somebody down there. And,
okay, go ahead.
Thank you all for everything, and I'll see y'all in the morning.
All
right, bro.
So let's look at the closing thoughts. The words others choose for us are small mirrors. Wow. Listen to this. The words others choose for us are small mirrors, reflecting not only who we are, but how we've made them feel. I want that to sink in. I'm gonna do like the pastor do, the preacher do. Let me say it for the third time, so the ones in the back can hear me. The words others choose for us are small mirrors, reflecting not only who we are, but how we made them feel. I need that one. I got to read it one more time. I want that one to soak in. The words others choose for us are small mirrors, reflecting not only who we are, but how we made them feel. So if people look at Monica and say, she's just a nurturing, caring person, that's truly how Monica has made them feel. Like she's nurtured and cared for them and made them feel like somebody cared and loves them. If somebody finds Monica dependable or finds Phyllis dependable or Miss Gwen dependable, they're saying, you know what? This person, man, can be counted on. When all else fails, I can count on them to show up and do whatever that needs to be done. When they say, Miss Gwen, my prayer warrior, all right, man, when I need somebody to pray with, I call Miss Gwen. That's how truly how Miss Gwen had made them feel comfortable, that they know that I have somebody I can go to that will pray for me, not P-R-E-Y on me, but P-R-A-Y for me, and be genuine in her prayer. You know what I'm saying? When I go to a Clarence and say, bro, I know you're a ride or die, I know you're gonna ride with me. You know, that's saying, man, I know you got my back. I know you got my back. Whether right, wrong, or indifferent, you got my back. Might not be always good, but at least he got my back. That's how I see him. And that's how he views me in the mirror. You know, that's that small reflection that's in that small mirror. That's how he's made me feel. Like I know he got my back. Miss Gwen said, I sent today's question out via text, and the most repeated words returned so far are kind, loving, committed, smart, and compassionate. See? And if you sent that out in a text and you ask people what are words they use to describe you or think about you, that's how most of them view you. They view you as a kind person, a loving person, committed, smart, and compassionate. And I agree with all those. Let every word be a reminder of the quiet connections that shape our shared humanity. Let every word be a reminder of the quiet connections that shape our shared humanity. See, there are people, man, that sitting back. There are some quiet connections that you have made where people don't. Everybody is not boisterous and vocal and talkative. Some people sit back, they're reserved, they're quiet, but they still have there are still connections, even though it may be a quiet connection. There are still connections that you've made with people, even though, like I said, they're not. Everybody's not an extrovert. Some people are introverts, and so you can't sit back and think that nobody's really thinking about you because they ain't said nothing. You still sometimes it trips me out, like maybe at a funeral, you get a person up that never says nothing, never talks. You be like, man, that person quiet, I don't never say nothing. Then they get up and the stuff they say about a person, you be like, I never knew they probably even feel that way about that person. Because they don't never vocal it, they don't never voice it, or vocalize it. But that's just like that quiet connection that they have with people. Monica said we should post this today to get our responses. I think everybody should do. I think everybody should take this question and go out there and say, what are 3 words that you would use to describe me? And just put it out there as a question and then see what responds, like Miss Gwen. And see, she did hers via text, to people. I think Monica did it last night to a couple of people through text, but maybe put it out there on Facebook or one of your social media platforms and just kind of see what people really think about you. What lens are people viewing you through? What small mirror? What reflection? How have you made people feel? Monica has gotten non-confrontational, quiet, reserved, but can be loud when necessary. So just put it out there. I'm gonna challenge all of us to do it today. Put it out there, just kind of see what you get back. And sometimes you may you may find out how some people really feel about you, and that's okay too. That's okay. Everybody ain't gonna think you the the king-ish or queen-ish, but it's good. I think it's always good to know where you stand with people. Period. To know how people feel about you and know what people know. Where you stand with people. If I know where I'm staying with you, where I stand with you, then it's cool. I know how I can rock. I know how I can approach you, be around you. That's cool. All right, I'm gonna give y'all a few minutes back, maybe. But before, what's up, Craig? We ain't seen you in a minute. But again, I just wanted to shout out again, man, all of those who showed up for the Prepared Life seminar on Saturday. We had a really good time. We had giveaways. We gave away 3 essential kits, emergency kits. We gave away a tent. We gave away a sleeping bag. We gave away thermal blankets. We gave away all of that, man, this past Saturday, and we appreciate all of those people showing up and just showing love, man, and being very attentive, having good questions and all of that, and just making sure that they walked away with information that could possibly either save their life or maybe someone close to them lives in an emergency situation, you know. So thank you guys again for showing up. I you couldn't see my table behind them, but I had all of this stuff. I had food on the table, the emergency kits. I had a bunch of stuff on this table that I brought in those 2 kits that we shared, from flashlights to uh, wind up radios and all kinds of stuff. So shout out to everyone who showed up on Saturday or who viewed it Saturday by live, because we did go live with this as well. And if you were able to view it, shout out to you too. You just missed out on the giveaways. That's all, you know. Um, Miss Gwen said, I did, as I watched your introduction of today's podcast. For me, it's usually hard to accept compliments, but words are powerful. Loretta said, for me, quiet, kind, and supportive. That's what people said about her, quiet, kind, and supportive. I could agree with that one too. She said, hey, Craig, where you been? Miss Gwen said, share that seminar is available on YouTube now. Yes. So it is available on YouTube, and I did share it to my personal page. And all of you can go to YouTube and share that video as well. You can go to YouTube to our 2 Men in a Hat page, podcast page, and you can click on that video, and at the bottom, you can share that video. So even if you weren't at the seminar on Saturday and you want to share that information with people, share that video. Get out there and share that video, man, so it can go viral, man. It could help save yourself or somebody you love life. He said he's just been working and driving. He said he'd be listening to the morning. He'd be sleep during the mornings during the podcast. That's all right. You can always go back and listen to it on YouTube. With Facebook, it only stays up for 30 days, but make sure you guys are subscribing to our YouTube channel. If you're subscribing to our YouTube channel, you can watch it whenever. You can just go on there and click on it and watch it. And each one of those are labeled. Each one of the story, our topics or our episodes are labeled and dated, so you'll know. Shout out to Pastor Clark and First Lady Clark for having the vision and seeing it through, keeping Bartlett's legacy alive. We appreciate that. It was beautiful, a beautiful thing that they did. Clarence said he just posted it on FB. We see what they say. Yep. All right. We'll see what they say. All right. Thank you guys again for joining us today, man. We appreciate you sharing and just being on with us today. And just thinking about it, man. And I want this to kind of resonate with you guys as you think about, how people view you and see you. And then really, what your interaction is with people. You want people. I'm not saying you got to go around and kiss people's tail, but you want to be. So we were at we went to Memphis barbecue the other day, and we was walking out to the car, getting ready to get in the car, and there was some people standing behind our car, and I hit the auto start on the car. They crunk up, and they was like, where that come from? Then they saw, they was like, man, we were trying to figure out how the car started by itself. But anyway, it was I heard them over talking about I was getting in the car, and they were saying, well, okay, First Lady and Pastor. And then I said, well, all right, then, First Lady, Pastor, did y'all take care of y'all pastor, First Lady? Did y'all buy them food? And they were like, no, the pastor and First Lady, they paid for our food. I said, okay, then I hear you, serving leadership, So it's important how people view you and see you. You got to have a heart and a heart for service, be able to service people, man, and servicing people. So thank you guys again. I want to share. I thought I had it up here. Maybe it went away. It did, but I'm gonna put it back up here now. Hold on, y'all. I got it. I know I got it. I'm gonna put it up there because we really hadn't shared it. Not this new flyer. And I want to make sure I share it because we got less than 2 weeks. We have less than 2 weeks, and in 2 weeks It's going down. So all of the people who came out this past Saturday, I want to see you, man, show up in full force for this event as well. And this is our homeless tent drive, our second annual homeless tent drive. And this is our new flyer that we have all of our partners. Lake Grove, Diamond Delights, we got New Sardis, we got a Hand Up, and DJ One Love and Amazing Investment. So everybody, we appreciate all of the partnerships, and we appreciate when I tell you I'm looking forward to this event being off the chain. I'm looking forward to being a great event. We have tents. I have a few sleeping bags. I think maybe 20, 30 sleeping bags. I got a couple of big backpacks. We got hand warmers that we're giving out, thermal blankets, the little thermal blankets that they can stick in their little pouch and wrap it up. Shirley coming down from Ohio, they got hats and scarves and hats and gloves, and she's gonna have Wendy's coupons that give away for free Frosties and a meal for $1, whatever it is, 99 cents, whatever it is. So they're gonna have those. So they coming down. So we just looking forward to everybody showing up. Even if you weren't able to get a tent, come on out and just help us. Just stand around, come out, make sure you purchase you a 2 Men in Hat t-shirt or hat so you can show that you're with us. And you know, we will have some hats and t-shirts out there if you want to just get it at the last minute. It's probably gonna be cold. If it's anything like yesterday was, it was pretty cold. So make sure you dress. If you have to throw you a turtleneck on under your t-shirt or whatever, but maybe you I don't know. Right now it's cold, a little chilly outside, so I don't know what the weather's gonna be like then. But thank you guys again. We appreciate you guys. Let us pray. Most gracious and eternal God, we come thanking you for all that you've done, all that you're doing, and all that you will do. We thank you for looking beyond all of our faults and seeing our needs, oh God, and just granting us your mercy and grace. Oh God, we thank you for all of our viewers and listeners, and we pray now that you will grant them their heart's desire. Everything that they stand in the need of, oh God, that you would grant it in grace. Oh God, we thank you for love. We thank you for how people view us, oh God. Even when we can't see ourselves, oh God, we thank you for how people view us and that they're viewing us in a positive light, oh God. We thank you for just, again, your darling son, Jesus, who died on a hill called Calvary so that we might have a right to the tree of life. We thank you for life, love, and just being able to say thank you, oh God. It's in Jesus' name that we pray and ask all of these things. Thank God and amen. Man, we will see you guys tomorrow, same bad time, same bad place. 2 Men in Hats. Let's talk about it.
The 2 Men in Hats podcast with your host with the most, Tony and Lavelle, every morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. We also have Queen Watkins with Clock Dead. Tune in with us and have a great time. Let's talk about it right here. 2 Men in Hats podcast.